Hey y'all, it's Ms. Colbert, and I've been through your peer reviews and wanted to give you some feedback as you're going into the weekend and starting a new round of peer reviews. First of all, I want to say that you all did a really great job after all of the confusion about where drafts should go and how you should be communicating. So you got it all together in the end, and that was great. So good job. When you get your partner's draft, the first thing you should do is compare it to the assignment on Blackboard. Does it meet the requirements? Does it match the scenario? Is it fulfilling everything that's in the assignment? And does it match the assignment? There were a couple of issues with the summaries where people turned in something that was really not consistent with the assignment, which was to summarize Mark's log. And none of their partners flagged it. That's something that should have been caught. So make sure that you're checking that first and letting your partner know, hey, I think you might have misunderstood something about the assignment. Aren't we supposed to do X? And show them in the assignment where it says that. You'll save them a lot of time, and especially you'll save them a poor score on their assignment. Secondly, look at it for audience. Is the document correct and appropriate for the audience in terms of content and language and presentation? So looking at the audience that's been assigned for that particular assignment, or in the case of the one that you're going to be working on coming up, the audience that's assigned for the particular document that that person is working on, since you're all working for different audiences. Looking at that audience, thinking about who they are, and thinking about, is this appropriate for that audience? Reading it for purpose. Does this document match the stated purpose, and does it fulfill that purpose? Is it going to achieve what it's supposed to achieve? Flag anything that isn't consistent with the purpose, or where you think that it needs more information, perhaps, to fulfill that purpose. And then finally, looking at it for usability. So is it complete? Is it accurate? Is it precise? Is it clear? Is it concise? And one big problem that was kind of consistent across a lot of the summaries was that there were problems with accuracy in the data that was used. So there were data points that were incorrect, or there were assertions made that were incorrect that should have been flagged by the partner, saying, hey, I don't think this is the right data point. I think it's, this number of days, or that number of potatoes, or this number of calories. So looking at those numbers and making sure that all of those are correct. And consistency. In the case of the summaries, what we saw was how you refer to Mark Watney on second reference. So first reference is his full name, Mark Watney. The second reference is how you refer to him every time after that. And so there were situations where you would have somebody who would say, they would call him Mark, and then Mr. Watney, and then Mark Watney, and it just, how you refer to someone needs to stay consistent across the document. So that's something that you could be looking for in your partner's document, is once they start using a term in a certain way or referring to someone in a certain way, first, is it appropriate? And second, do they stick with it? And making sure that that's how they are throughout the entire document. Some of you took the initiative, and that was great, in using track changes in Microsoft Word. I want to have all of you do that, and I should have brought that up to begin with, and I didn't, so that is my fault. But going forward, I want you to do that. And what you do is open in the Word document, you go up here to the Review tab, and you can turn on track changes. There's just this little button here, and you can click that on and off. And any changes you make, so if there is a typo or a misspelled word, and you can just change that right in there, and it will show that you've made that change. And your partner can accept or reject that change as they like. And the other thing you can do is click up here on New Comment. You can put the cursor anywhere within the text and choose New Comment, and it'll open a little bubble over here off to the right side, and you can type in your comment, like, it might be a good idea to include the actual text. And that will go along with their document. And those of you, when you get your document back, you can go through and accept changes, individually. So you can go through and accept to move to next, or reject and move to next. And the comments, you can come up here and you can either go, delete all comments in document, or you can right click and delete comment. So having gone through all of that with the peer reviews, I've changed the rubric for the peer reviews, and wanted to bring that to your attention. So the professionalism, and those two categories, deadlines and interaction, those have not changed. I do hope that now that everybody has had a chance to work with the system in Blackboard, using the groups and the discussion boards and the file exchange, that we'll see posts and responses getting up and back in a more timely fashion, because deadlines kind of were a problem. So hopefully that'll improve this time around. If Blackboard is an issue for some of you, and you would like to have a different way to interact with your partner, let me know. We can set up something maybe on Teams where you can have your own channel, and you can correspond and chat that way, and I will still be able to see that you're what you're saying to each other and what's being said, for this gradient on portion of the other rubric on interaction. I did change this particular portion of the rubric under the review portion for completeness, accuracy, precision, and clarity. So I'm looking for comments made directly in the Word file using track changes and comments. A thorough evaluation of the draft. Are you checking your partner's draft for alignment with audience, purpose, and the assignment? Are you checking for errors in the data and errors in the information, so accuracy? Are you commenting on specific passages in the text, or if there's a general problem, are you using a specific example from the text to illustrate it? Are you suggesting how to fix the problem? And being specific about how to possibly fix any problems. And that the feedback is addressing only the quality of the writing. You'll see over here that like when you get down into the low milestone, that it says that the feedback reflects the viewer's personal writing preferences rather than the quality. Ask yourself as you're making these changes or suggesting changes that is this something that is actually related to usability or to audience or purpose or the assignment, or is this just going to sound better because that's how I would write it. And if it's the second case and that's just you think that this would sound better for no other reason than that's how you would do it, don't flag it. This is not your paper. You're reading this as a reader, not as how you would write it. So you have to stand back and be objective, and you're helping your partner improve their writing. And they don't get better as a writer by just learning to write like you. Everybody was really great about accepting criticism and asking questions as needed. And hopefully, if you're getting drafts up and back more quickly, then you actually be able to ask questions and do a little more in-depth communication about improving your documents. Toward that end, I want to bring to your attention that up here in the discussion board, I've created 4 separate forums for each of the audiences. And you are automatically subscribed to the forum for the audience that you were assigned. So if you're writing a memo to Teddy Sanders, you are you've already been subscribed to the Teddy Sanders forum, and so on and so forth. Only the people who were writing that memo to that audience can post, but everybody can read. And I did this so that you can continue to work with the members of your group from last Wednesday on solving problems and brainstorming ideas and just bouncing ideas off of each other as needed. In the real world, a phrase I hate, by the way, excuse me, in the workplace, when you have a project and you're writing something and you get stuck, or you want to bounce an idea off of somebody, you don't sit there in your office and go, boy, I really wish I could talk to somebody about this, but to do that would be cheating. No, you walk down the hall and you ask somebody, or you stand at the water cooler, or you ask people at lunch, or whatever. So that's just how things work. For real. So please take advantage of this if you want, and if you can, and if that will be helpful to you. You can look in on anybody else's forum and see what ideas or things they're talking about, and see if that helps you at all. As long as what you turn in with your individual memo is your original work, you're fine. So I encourage you all to work together and collaborate and cooperate to work through any of the material that we go through in class. And I believe that is it. I hope you're enjoying your day off. I will see you all next week. In the meantime, if you have any questions about the assignment or the peer reviews or anything else, drop me an email, or I'm generally on Teams during the day between, I'm usually on by 9 or 10. I'm usually on until 4 or 5. So you can just drop me a line and I'll help you out any way that I can. And with that, I hope that you have a great day and a lovely weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye.